Aloha you guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Brianne Reframina, and if you don't already know, I make videos on my life journey, and it usually involves my spirituality, believing in God, minimalism, and a bunch of other things that is just happening in my life. And usually the couple videos I've made so far before this one, it was very set up in a beautiful spot in a park, and I usually had a script, but for this one I'm kind of just going off of my head because today has just been kind of hectic, and I did have another video planned, but it's just being postponed. Don't worry, I am going to be putting that video up because I do think it's going to be pretty amazing, and it has something to do with minimalism. So check out my channel and just keep an eye out for that video. And so today in this video I'm going to be talking about my experience in the past few days and what God has shown me so far that I've been kind of thinking about lately, because it is something that was almost a vision experience, and I guess he was speaking to me through my dreams. So this past Saturday, September 16th, I believe, nighttime, I had a dream that was very, very vivid, and I usually have a lot of visions, and I've had grandparents and ancestors visit me through my dreams and stuff like that, so it's nothing new. But to be communicated to by God through my dreams is something that was fairly new to me, especially recently. I'm sure he has spoken to me in the past through my dreams, but I've just never paid attention, so it's always important to pay attention. But this past Saturday night, I did have a dream that was an answer to anything, it was an answer to something I had been thinking about this past week. And basically the dream was I was in a party, like in someone's wedding in my family, and it wasn't very specific, but it was someone's wedding. And I remember all of my family members were still hanging out in this wedding venue, and I was the first one to leave. And I was like, okay, you guys, I'm gonna wait for you guys outside. Like, I'm not going to stay in this room and just do nothing, right? And everybody was just standing around. Nobody was doing anything. So I chose to go wait outside, and for some reason we were on a lake so there was a boat waiting outside for everyone, and I was the first one to the boat. So I'm waiting there, and the next person that comes is my mom, and we're both just like, okay, we're gonna wait for everybody on this boat. And all of a sudden I see this baby white and black bunny hopping, and this baby bunny is hopping onto the boat, and I'm following this baby bunny, and all of a sudden there's this big black dog. He's very vicious, growling, trying to attack me, and he's trying to chase this baby bunny. And what I ended up doing was, he tried to go after the bunny, but I stepped in front of it and I closed this gate that he couldn't get past, and I was holding this gate so tight. And the dog, he was just vicious, trying to bite me, trying to get through the gate, trying to pull through the gate, and I just wouldn't let it go. And the dog, eventually he sat down and he was just growling at me through the gate. And all of a sudden I see some of my closest family members just walking towards the boat, and I'm screaming at them, you can come on the boat, but don't open the gate for this dog because he's going to get the bunny. And next thing you know, my closest family members grab a leash the dog, and open the gate for the dog to come onto the boat. And mind you, they're holding and controlling this dog. So for me, I was just like, don't let the dog on, he's gonna catch the bunny, and I'm trying to save this bunny. And meanwhile, they're just not listening to me at all. They're completely in their own world, not even recognizing me, and they're just disregarding everything I'm saying. So they're just going onto the boat with the dog. And eventually I kind of give up, and the dog and the bunny disappears in my dream. And a bunch of other things happened throughout my dream. After that, I did experience this really beautiful big stingray, and I looked it up. It was a eagle spotted ray, if that's right. So it was like this big, had like wing-like fins and had this long tail with spots all over it, and just really beautiful, and the way it was moving was so graceful. And so that was also one aspect of my dream that I will mention and talk about later. But the main part of my vision that I know that God was speaking to me through was the whole not trying to let the dog on the boat and trying to save this baby bunny. So my interpretation was that through this past week, I was feeling sort of outcasted by some of my family because of just how I've experienced recently. We, had a gathering, and I've had some experiences with some of my other family members through just social interaction. And for me, I've noticed that some of these people were outcasting me in ways that I wasn't happy with. I've always experienced that through my life, even growing up, wherever it was in my family, at school, I was always outcasted in some way because of how I looked, how I spoke, how I acted. I was different. I was very quiet, shy girl. I read a lot of books and kind of kept to myself. But it was as if I was reliving that experience, and it was kind of like almost like these people were trying to bring me down back to that level. And I'm definitely way past that. Like, I'm able to talk to more people, I'm able to be more open, but it was something that I had to work through. Like, it wasn't an overnight thing. I had to take years to be able to open up, but it took me getting out of that environment around my family to be able to do that. And so when I was back to put myself back in that environment, it was almost as if I was being pulled down to their level, and they were trying to keep me down. And the message that I was getting is that you need to be able to let some of these people go, no matter if they're your family. You need to be able to let them go in order to move on to the next phase of your life, in order to move on to the next season of your life. And for a lot of people, that may be very difficult to swallow, right? Because you are really close with some of your family, even if they have, manipulated you, abused you, or even if they've just outcasted you in some way, and you've never really felt like you're a part of the family. It can feel like hard. It can be hard to let those people go because you're so used to being around them. But it's important to know that you need to choose to be alone in order to move on sometimes, because these people aren't going to support you in the next season of your life. They're not going to be there and love you and continue to help you grow and be successful in your life. So in order for you to do that, you need to let go of these people. And for me, the message that I was getting was that from God is I needed to let go of some of these people in order to get ready for what he had for me. And God will throw a bunch of tests at you. He will. When you think you're doing great, he'll be like, okay, you want to make sure you are? Let's test that. And he's going to continue to test you because he wants you to build that strength, build that courage, build that faith in him, that you will continue to believe in him no matter how many tests he throws at you, and you will be able to get through it. But you have to have discernment when you do have these tests that God throws at you, because sometimes you can fail those tests. But as long as you're self-aware and you're able to understand, this is something that God wants me to get through in order for me to move on to the next season of my life and fulfill what he has planned for us. And another message that I got from church, after that was, God will always have his plan set out for you. He always has this purpose, this future, and he never took it away. He never moved it in any way. He always had it right in front of you. But it's up to you to choose which path you want to take to get there. And if you're not in alignment with what he has planned for you, then you're going to take a lot longer to get to where he needs you to be. And it's up to you to be able to have faith in him and continue to understand his word, understand what he has planned, and have faith and continue on until you know that you're on the right path. And everyone makes mistakes. You're not gonna have this perfect journey, right? You're going to make mistakes, but you are going to learn from them and not repeat them and be able to move on. So that's kind of what I've learned this week. And I know this is not really one of those videos that is like, this is 3 steps on how to do this, and this is what I do in my life. It's like, no, this is my testimony for the week, and this is my message for anybody else who has the same issues or is going through something similar. I hope you guys have a great week. I know this is a short video, but like I said, I'm coming out with a lot more amazing videos in the next couple weeks. I will be posting every Tuesday and Friday, like I said, so keep an eye out, and I'll see you in the next video.